All right, so this is a ad hoc training that we're going to do today is 1/24/2023. And we were talking in the Killer Wells room about scalping, scalping. And so many traders who trade with me know that I'm not labeled as a scalper or long hold or anything like that. I have multiple setups and tricks and tools in my tool bag to trade. So let's just take a look here. So far, how are you guys doing today? Let me know if you can hear me inside the Killer Wells channel. Green for the day, give me a thumbs up. So far on the morning, I am 7 of 8. Here are my stats for the morning, right? 7 of 8 for the morning, very, very green. One of the trades there crushed out a 60, another one nearly 100% on the first trade, some other folks 90%. So very nice day, very nice day so far. So if you're hearing me, let me know. All right, cool. So we got some folks. All right, great. All right, so we're going to talk about scalping, and I'm going to give you just 3 tips. I'm going to give you 3 tips. Now, the reason I'm giving these tips, and this, we're going to keep this live right here so you guys can see the response. All right. In the Discord, for those of you watching new, you'd click the link over here and somewhere attached to the video, and you'd come into Discord, you read the rules, verify yourself, and you'd read the testimonials here. You can see what people are saying about this Discord and how they're improving. Then you can schedule training here. You cannot jump. You have to take the trainings in order. If you take the trainings out of order, I will hold your spot and direct you to the proper training. All right. In addition to that, futures training is released, and you can take futures after you've taken the core. I do not discuss futures core elements of our system. I don't discuss that in the training. We get right to it. I do discuss foundational elements for futures, but we don't go over VVP. We get right to it and how it applies. Okay. Then you can get the tier 3 access right here, and that'll take you into a private channel over here. So the training that we're doing right now is for the private channel. All right. And this is where we are. Okay. So I want to ask you guys something. When I get into my positions, keep me honest, right? This is public information here that I'm going to put out. Have you noticed that my entries are on point? Do you feel like my entries about 95% of the time are on point? All right. Do you feel like most of the time when I get inside my trades, that thing pops into profit and we go? Like my timing to get into my trades is just ridiculous. Do you feel, these aren't my statements, these are yours, right? All right. And I see even some are responding inside the chat here too. All right. Okay, cool. So let's just take a look then. All right, everybody's saying yes. All right. So you know, the world knows I ain't making this stuff up. This guy is crushing this thing. Because if I say it, then it just sounds weird. But when you guys, so yesterday, let's do a trade recap, 100% trade. This was a 100% trade. Yesterday, this was the move. And this was in the general room. And the call out was made. Let me see here. What time is this? 9:39. So I'm going to try to scroll up to yesterday so you can see the actual call out and the multiple call outs made. And if those, any of you guys took the trade, and then we're going to get right to our training. All right. So what did we say? 9:40. All right, here we go. There it is right there. All right, there we go. Call out 9:40. This is right there to go long, right? Then we're cooking here, trailing, other folks making money. Boom, 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 boom. That's yesterday. A lot of folks making money, a lot of money, you know, being profitable. Then we made some more trades, crushed it, kept crushing it, kept crushing it. Day went on, 2 for 2, 3 for 3, 4 for 4. I think I ended yesterday 7 of 8 as well. More 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Folks crushing it as we go. Excellent time. So the question was asked yesterday, man, how do you know when these things are going to pop? How do you know? And then how do you scalp this stuff? Now, I don't trade during low volume times, and I don't trade when things don't align in the market. If you want to learn about, you know, what that looks like, then you've got to come into the training, the Discord here, and you've got to take training. Invest in yourself. This is what you got to do. You got to take training. That's how it goes. You take the training. Taking the training eliminates a lot of dilatory questions so you can understand how this thing works. All right. So how do you know it's going to pop? All right. So number one, I'm reading the tape. All right. We'll talk about that. But That's how I know. I'm looking at volume. I got sentiment. There's a number of things to catch pops and drops. So someone remind me, I'll do another video on that, how to catch the pops and drops. Someone remind me of that. I'll do a video on that. That's a different setup, but you can combine the two to get some monster wins. This one we're going to talk about here. All right. 3 tips for perfect entries and exits in day trading. That's what we're going to talk. This is just some ad hoc training that we're going to do, that I do periodically with the killer whales. All right. And all right. So 3 tips to getting perfect entries and exits. Has this ever happened to you? You get into a position, right? You think you're going up, right? You're like, I'm getting ready to get up, and you may even jump the gun. You get into a position. Let's see here. You get into a position right here, and you got to suffer through drawdown, and it goes negative. Give me some feedback. Let me know. Has that ever happened to you? Has it ever happened to you? All right. Folks are saying yes, it's happened to them. All right. Now, you're going to have to sit through some drawdown in day trading. So number one, know that you're going to have to sit through some drawdown. I've gotten to the point where I wait to get into my trade, but I can sit through drawdown. That's not a big deal if I know I'm holding. Now, these aren't my levels, all of them. These are some, and we'll discuss that. So what you really want to do is you want to try to time your entries so that you don't have to sit through a lot of drawdown. Now, what will that do? Well, it does wonders for your confidence and your emotions and reduces stress. Anyone who's been in the Discord know I've got my music playing, I got the jams going, got my old school, the vibe is right. We're just, easing into the day, right? And again, we're not like, bro, yeah, Bulls, Bears, go kill it, crut. We get hype about these great setups, but so have you felt that in the Discord as far as the vibe? Do you feel like the vibe is unlike other Discords and it's on point? Let me know if you guys feel that way. All right. Very nice. All right. Very nice. All right. Some folks saying very, very nice. Nice vibe, chill. Good. Now that's important. I'm getting to the point here. That's important, right? Way better. Yep. Greatest. All right. That's important because the vibe is going to allow you to read the market and kind of just find your entries. You need things to be chill. So we're talking about entries. I gave you a tip so far to look at the tape, get the training, reading volume, all that cool stuff. All that matters. But I'm going to give you 3 tips right now on how yesterday and today, you saw me get another move today, right? You guys saw me get this move right here. I mean, look at that. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. You saw it. Come on now. You saw me get that move right there out the gate. And I think we were already 5 for 5, 4 for 4 by 10 o'clock, right? 5 for 5 by 10 o'clock, right? So, beautiful trade, right? Beautiful trade, right? And just scalped that thing and crushed it, right? So let's bring that up so you can make sure I'm telling the truth, right? Those who aren't in a Discord, you can see there's the call out there, 932 in calls. And here's my targets, SPX. What I'm going to do to scalp, here's my targets and risk to reward for SPY. And then we roll, then we scalp to the downside. Boom, 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 boom. Pick that up, back up to calls, 4,000, scalp that thing. By the time, look at folks grabbing it, 3 for 3. You can see it. All call outs are live. You can see whether I win or lose, 4 for 4 by then. We're crushing this thing. And others are also, that's the mark of a good Discord. Others, right? Somebody's giving me a goat. I appreciate that, Chip. 5 for 5 by 10 o'clock, already crushing this thing. All right. How in the world are we able to get these entries and exits? Well, obviously you can clearly see I got levels, but that still doesn't ensure a person is going to have the wherewithal to enter, right? They're going to have the understanding to enter. So let's talk about 3 tips and let's get to it now. The first tip I'm going to give you for getting perfect entries and exits is tip number 1, have a scalper's mind. What do I mean? All right. You don't have to be a scalper to have a scalper's mind. Now, scalpers, some of you guys are trading on the 1 minute and the 2 minute. I don't need to. It's too much noise. I like cleaner action. I'm on 3 and I'm on 5. Cleaner action. Now in my video the other day, you can go and watch it. We talked about multi-time frame analysis. So that's going to help you there. But I don't want you to go down to the one just to start scalping this stuff with a bunch of noise. Getting the breakdown right there. Let me just check the market right now. All right, so the entry here is off of the POC for this move here. And I'm not going to take it because I'm training and we're late to it, but I would have liked to have taken this move here. So why don't we discuss this move right here? All right. Why don't we discuss this move right here? All right. Let's look at the price action real quick. All right. The second tip, we're going to talk about it now. So have a scalper's mind, and then I'm going to break them down. The second tip is this, and we'll break this move down at the same time, right? This is live. Use your levels and areas of interest. And then the third tip, I'm going to put it down right here, and I'm going to explain them now, is watch the shot clock. All right. Have a scalper's mind, use your levels and areas of interest, and what? Sorry about that. Watch the shot clock. Okay. Watch the shot clock. All right. So let's put them all together. All right. So I'm already looking to do a short hold here, and I want to get a good entry. So in this example here, if you guys are fading this, we're coming back to 4,000 on SPX. All right. First target would be 4003. So on SPY, we just breached 39936. So let's grab that. It's our first targeted break here. So we've aggressively hit this area. I'm expecting a retracement in this area. And we're going to watch here, right? This would be your overall target for this move right here. Oops, sorry about that. If you break down. Don't know what this is. Sorry about that. All right. So we're watching. All right. So the first thing is have a scalper's mind. A scalper's mind says, I'm not going to long hold this thing. I'm going to take it for a specified period of time. Okay. Specified period of time. All right. So what you want to do is identify where you're going. That's the first thing. If you're not going to hold to your level, where are you going to hold, right? You look at volume, look at your areas of interest. So we gotta first establish a couple of levels. We do that in training, but we got to right now establish a couple of areas of interest. So we know we can clearly see the market is holding in these areas right here, and it's moving up. So if I were to scalp this based on my levels, again, this isn't all the levels. First thing I do is I look at market structure. I look at market sentiment. I look at my leading indicators. You can take the training for all that. And okay, this is live right now. We're going to watch that. I have good indication once volume dissipates that we fill this gap right here. All right. I have good indication once the volume dissipates that we fill that gap. We're going to watch for that though. Let's take a look around the market here. All right. So this is a training, but we're also trading. So we're going to look for some live action here. And we're going to watch. Now, I don't want to trade distracted here, so I'm just watching. We signed on here just to do some training, but if this trade manifests itself, this will be a great training exercise as well to take this trade. I expect a wick down to here right now. I expect a wick at some point right there. That's what I'm looking at. Ooh, look at that. See that? All right. So what am I doing? What am I doing? You could scalp this. You could scalp that. What am I doing? Once you see the weakness, what am I doing? I'm marking areas of interest. Areas on the screen, these are not supply and demand zones. These are areas on the screen where I notice that the price action, the volume, something is happening in the market that I should be aware of. And all I do is mark it. It does not represent a supply and demand zone. It does not represent necessarily, it's just telling me, all right, this thing is chipping around and I have a high probability in these areas to do something. All right. So this one here, we can move this up to there as this thing moves, because we got a wick in that area. We can move this one up to here. All right. So I'm just looking at the data. This isn't part of the training, what I'm doing right now. We are also looking and analyzing, we're analyzing the market. But I'm telling you, see, there you go. So now, target one, look at it dancing. Very nice. All right. And this is the 1 minute. Now let's go to the 3 minute. Now look at the 3 minute. And I did that for a reason. Do you see how on the 1 minute we saw those gaps? One, and you're like, oh, it's going to feel. You go to the 3, you don't see them, right? What you do is you do see a gap here, right? A small gap there between our open and close here, that is, right? That this thing needs to fill, right? But you don't really see it down here on the 1. So that is why I don't trade on the 1, because it could be very misleading to you. Very, very misleading. Now, if I saw that action on the 3, I would be inclined to take that trade. So that's the first thing I want to show you there, guys. All right. So with that in mind, I'm trading on the 3. And the reality is, I think, sorry about that. The reality is, I think we still are pulled up a little higher. All right. So there's an example of how a trader could get faked. If you're on that lower time frame, it's right, you're getting faked, but the real move is right there. Boom, profit PT is met. The real move is there. That's the real move. All right. So you got an idea of how I would analyze some data. Look at that. So you take the trade, look at it rolling. Look at it rolling. See? So this area of interest here needed to be filled. I can check this area on the tape to see where the orders are. And once I get confirmation, I can say, yeah, we're likely going to come to this area and enter as we come past the close of this candle here, right? There's my entry. All right. So this is a trade here that I did scalp this personally and just let it run. So let's talk about the 3 points and break this all down together. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is have a scalper's mind. My scalper's mind tells me I'm not going to long hold. I'm going to go from close to close or point to point. Right. The second thing is I'm going to use my levels and areas of interest. So I've got to create the areas of interest. I had an area of interest right here. You should have developed this area of interest after you saw this gap down on the 3 minute candle. Boom. At some point during low volume, you know we're going to come back to this. Then after that, you can come up here and you can just take a look at volume, right? And what supports this move where you see an increase in volume? You see an increase in volume here, this candle from here. So we couple of things happen, right? Let's start with the area of interest first. If I look from left to right, I can see that there's obviously some type of, and we traded this earlier today. So you got to remember that there's some top-down pressure here. So if there's some top-down pressure here and it's right in this area, I'm going to mark it. And that's before we even get there, right? Before we even get to the right, I'm looking at this thing saying, all right, there's some pressure in this area. Now, how do you gauge some of these areas of interest? You got to look at your data, right? You got to look at your data, right? So in trading, there's a common phrase, what once was the ceiling is now the floor, and vice versa, right? What once was the ceiling is now the floor, and now the floor is no more, all right? You can remember that. What once was the ceiling is the floor, and now the floor is no more. What do we mean? This is a floor. This is a floor, right? You could say it's a support, resistance, all that. It doesn't matter. This is an area of interest. We break down, we hold. You have another one down here, right? We chip around. You're looking for confluence all the way around. You're saying, all right, there's top-down pressure. You don't know what's up here. Some traders are watching Bookmap and other things, but you don't know if these orders are going to get eaten up. You got to use market sentiment in the training for that. But we get the evidence of that. Now it's about 10:30. We've got data to support. We can stretch our area of interest forward now. So it would have started here. We saw it kind of chipping around. It actually would have started about right here, something like that. And we saw it chipping around. We would have moved it forward about right here, and we would have slid it up to where we saw the price action. And then once it's here around 10:30, I would just stretch it for the rest of the day. That's it, right? Because I can clearly see there's significant price action in that area. That's number one, all right? All right, or number two. So the first one is I am looking to hold in short pops or drops. That's a scalper's mind, right? Scalp, in, out, pops or drops. Second one is I am using levels and area of interest. Now on this this training chart, as you can see here, I don't have, it's a fresh chart. I've got some levels, but I don't have all of them. So I've created a few levels here so you can see, but we are creating the areas of interest. Let's go ahead and create one or two more. I'm going to create an area of interest from here to there, right? From there to there, all right? Now, here's the beauty of this. Here's the beauty. I know that I could have scalped this from, let's move this out the way now. Let's take this out the way. From my entry here, let's move this out the way now and then move this back up. All right, that's where we are. From my entry there to about right here, I could have scalped that, right? So I'm looking at, all I know is, okay, I've identified a move. I've identified volume and market interest. I'm at my areas of interest. I'm holding. What tells me that I'm going to grab this move? I'm not looking for the full move. Well, I identified a gap. I identified some volume up here. I got the PLC here where there's a high concentration of volume. All right, cool. I also have an area of interest up here. All right, got it. So this means that this area right here is my target area for my move. Even if you got to take one trade a day, this is it. And quite frankly, that's a major move. 39983, 442. That's a nice move in this area, right? This is the highest probability or the highest probable move so far of the afternoon session. This move right here is the highest probable move. Now, some traders, and Wall Street loves doing this, some traders got trapped in shorts right here, right? We saw this thing dump. I hit a level down there, and I'm not getting in until we break past it. Why? I've got an area of interest there. There must be some interest, some volume. Liquidity is shifting in this area. And I need the liquidity to shift in my favor to take the short down. But KD, haven't I missed most of the move? No, you haven't, right? You haven't. You think you have because of, maybe your elementary way of looking at this. And then you don't want to chase. You don't get this, get into this trade and then let this thing drop down and then retrace on you or wick up on you. And then, you're stuck in drawdown. You wait. Now, once you saw evidence of holding and this thing began to build and corresponding volume step in, there's a gap here. At the very least, you can take this trade from here to here. At the very least, this could have been your trade range. Close of the previous, pop to fill the gap, you're done. You're done. All right, so those are the two things I do. One, I have a scalper's mind. I'm looking for a specific time frame to hold this thing. Number two, I'm using my levels and area of interest to build off of and to trade within. Number three, I watch the shot clock. Here is a diamond. I'm going to give you some gold right now. All right, let's watch. I'm on the 3-minute chart. I have a shot clock or a candle clock right there. This clock tells me when this candle closes, right? Look at the price action. Now, we've got to really look at this because we don't have high volume. So all bets are off, as they say, when there's low volume, meaning this thing is going to chip and chop and do all kind of stuff. But it still will agree, for the most part, with market sentiment, okay? It still will agree. So here we go. Let's see here. So here we go. We're watching to see when the candle closes. Candle closes now. Are we holding? What is the action here? We're in an area of interest. Now you got to look how interesting this stuff is. Do you find it interesting that this candle closes right inside of our volume area? This tells me that there is volume at this level right here. And if we hold past this area, we likely will reattempt. So this would not be the best time to enter a trade. This is your exit for the trade, right? Here to here, right? So what I do is I watch the shot clock or I watch the candle clock to look for the candle close, use that in harmony with my areas of interest and my levels and my volume, volatility, price action, the three pillars you need to effectively trade. I use it all together to time my entry. And as soon as I see it using hotkeys, I get right into the trade. Whether you limit, 1 penny above ask, whether you market order, it does not matter when we're talking about the S&P. It's very liquid. All right. Very liquid. The only time it matters is when you're talking about spreads on SPX and when you're talking about low volume, or when you are significantly late, or just late in general to the move. When you're late to the move, then you get what they give you. That's how it works. All right. You get what they give you. All right. So let's recap and put it all together. We've talked about 3 tips for perfect entries and exits in day trading. This is not swing trading. This is day trading. Here's the tips. Have a scalper's mind. Use your levels and areas of interest. Watch the shot clock. How do we do it? You saw me create these areas of interest, and you saw me create this area. Here's what shows you I can't even make this up. You saw me, give me some feedback. Did you not see me create this area of interest here? And did you not see a rejection right at that level there? Live. Did you not see that? Right? It's 12:27 in the afternoon. You can see it. This is a trading day, right? Right. All right. So, what will be interesting is if liquidity shifts here and we come back down. That's what would be interesting, right? That would give you added confidence that, yeah, there's my area to short, and I'd watch for the next move. I'd watch for the next areas there, and I would take the trade. All right. But because it's low volume, we were coming off a nice low 4 candle break. I'm not going to take this trade anyway. But if I were to take, the continuation here, took the scalp, if I were to take the continuation here, then I would just hold the trade or watch until the next opportunity presents itself. All right. So that's how, those are the tips I give traders, and I would give you. All right. You're dialed in, you're watching price action. All right. These 3 things are king. I've been saying it for a year now on YouTube. I will continue to say it. And this is the secret. If someone else tries to teach you this stuff, they got it from me. This is the secret. You want a cheat code? You want to know how to gain an edge? This is it, period. Notice I have no lagging indicators on my screen. Notice I have no wide areas of supply and demand, nothing. We started with just some levels, and you can clearly see I already hit one, took the trade, etc. And then I continue to break up the day with my areas of interest and trade. So this is a superior way to trade. All right. There are many ways, but this is a superior way. All right. Are there any questions? We'll take some questions now for clarity, knowledge check, and then we'll wrap it up in a moment. No, I won't. It's lunch, low volume time. I'm done for the morning. So I'm going to take my lunch. This is just some ad hoc training, off the cuff training that we wanted to do. I want to do for you guys to help you out, give you 1 or 2 things extra. And I'm going to help you with something. When your screen is convoluted with a bunch of lagging indicators, I'm going to tell you right now, you can't see this. You cannot see it. When you've got a bunch of junk on your screen, you can't see this. You can't see market structure. You can't see, you are watching, oh man, we're bouncing. And by the time we bounce, you don't know where you're going. You're nervous. You're late to the trade. You don't know it. But had you already had this area of interest here, you could have watched for the move. And as you saw the retracement, you could have got an entry all the way down here to the upside, right? Seeing as how you had an intraday gap and the POC. You also had an area of interest at the top. So what's the number 1 question that you should be asking yourself before you enter a trade? What's the number 1 question you should be asking yourself before you enter a trade? This is for everyone who's new. If you're watching this for the first time, what's the number 1 question? There it is. There it is. That's the number 1 question. Where are we going? Where are we going? That's the number 1 question. If you answer that question, before you get into a trade and while you're in a trade, you will significantly improve your win percentage. Significantly. All right. So yes, series, I do have a video on areas of interest. If someone knows the name of the video, please put it here and I'll bring it up on the screen. Okay. All right, let's answer some questions here. All right, so here we go. Option Karma, what made you draw the level of interest at the top of the chart? Excellent. I should be shorting this, but I'm training you guys. I mean, it's clear as, I can't make this stuff up. You just saw me put this on the screen, everyone. So to answer options, number one, I have other charts beneath me. So let me just be clear. I have my main chart, which you guys see every day. I post my levels, so you know what's up here. You know what's up here. All right, number one. Number two, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question. You know what? Let me get to it here. Let me just see if I can find it. See if I can find it here. See if I can find it here. Did you or did you not hear me say and state on our run up that there was a target up here on the futures? And can somebody tell me what that number was that I stated earlier? What did I state that I was going to take my move to here? What was the original target? Just making sure I wanted to, I have to ask you guys, so because people wouldn't believe the consistency if I just say it. And I have to, right. And we stated this earlier. All right, cool. So when I took the trade earlier, and this answer is for Options Karma, I said, let me just bring this up the right way. I said my target, I gave the SPY targets, and then you guys are saying 40, 30, 40, 30. So this means that as I read the market, I see that there's liquidity sitting up here. And I know what happens in certain areas. And in my mind, in my weekly prep, last week's weekly prep, right? Let me lock this here. Did I or did I not talk about a JPM collar and some other things? Yes or no? Yes or no? Anybody? Yeah. Okay. All right. Making sure I'm not making this up. You guys can see the responses there. All right. Yes. So you put all that together and you know that there's liquidity up here. Now, how do you watch for evidence that it's still there? See, trader, let me tell you something. As a retail trader, just knock it off. Knock it off. You have no secret. Knock it off. You either can just read the market at a high level or you can't. There's no indicator. There's things that can help you see your setup, but nobody has a bead on this, right? What gives me my edge is I'm hyper focused and dialed in intraday and how to read this stuff. So this is what I'm looking for. I know that there's a target sitting right there across the S&P. Then I see top down pressure and I see a rejection and a fade. By this time, I'm already 6 for 6 for the day, or 6 for 7, something like that. So, let's just mark it out here. 1. Right? You saw that. Number one, you saw that, right? You saw it. You're like, all right. And quite frankly, if you probably would have stretched this thing from before. You probably would have had area of interest from before. You retraced in the same area. Look at that. I mean, I can't even make it up, right? You guys, you're seeing me do all of this live. I plotted this there live, and it maps to yesterday as well. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that. Right there. Boom. I can't make this up. Let's focus on today, though. All right, so I got a rejection. This is all I'm seeing so far. Then the market is manifesting itself. I come back up. What do you think I'll be watching for? This is for Option Karma. What do you think I'm watching for up in this area? What do you think I'm watching for? What do you think I'm watching? What do you think I'm looking at there? Anybody can say it. I got already, and quite frankly, you take profit for a reason. You don't take profit with the intent to get back in because you made a mistake, right? I took my profit for a reason. So I took my profit on the first run up, right? You guys saw it there, right? Then I get the confirmation that there's weakness, right? So what do you think I'm looking for right here? Right? It's not a guarantee that I'm going to have another rejection, K. Wilson, all right? I'm just going to put this up here so everyone can see. Let me just put it right there. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for indication, not more. This sounds like a factual statement. You got to change your mindset. No biases. I'm looking for indication indication of weakness, right? Remember those if thens we talk about, selling pressure. Yeah, I'm just looking for indication, right? So without looking at anything else, you guys got so much stuff going on your screens, you can't see what's really happening. Boom. Do you think that's indication of weakness right there? Do you think? Anybody? Anybody? This training is going to go a little longer than I would have wanted to go, but I don't care about how short these things are. But I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. Yeah. All right. Some folks are talking here saying, absolutely. Yes. Okay, good. So now, all right. Well, let's just take a look. Would it have been so bad? And we're doing it live. Would it have been so bad if you scalped it right there? You don't even get up in this area and you read the action, price action. So now let's look at it again. What's happening? All right. What's happening? What's happening? You can see, and all you want to look for is we're back to our area. See? And where are we? We got to watch for our areas to break down. We break down, then you're going to come back down, right? And you'll move into those areas and you just watch for that to move. So right now you should have, look at the price action. You should have, let's delete this one. Well, I'm going to keep it there. You should have an area of interest right there. You're just watching the price action. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. You don't know when you're going to break down. You wait for the evidence. Now that's when you can use other tools. Of course, I'm reading the tape. Of course, right? To tell me, yeah, we're going to break. We're going to break. Of course. Of course. You put all that together, VVP, it is a superior system and you can scalp and do anything. You can do anything. Let's talk about the 3 and let's recap. 3 tips for perfect entries and exits. Well, before we do that, let me answer some more questions here. All right, I got another question. Did that answer your question? First, option karma. Let's put this on the screen to make sure. Did that answer your question? Did that answer your question? Option karma. Next person is, how do you use a volume profile when you scalp? That's in training. Do you use tick or minute on futures when you scalp? That's in training. These are questions that we cover in training, right? Not on YouTube. Where are we going? Okay, we got that. We got that. We got that. I think I have way too many levels, no lagging indicators, but may have. Well, you just need to clean them up. We can sit in a one-on-one, or you clean them up. Do you use a tick or minute? That's in training. We'll talk about that later, right? All right, see the gap on 3 minute from 10:09 to 11:12. Would you have used that as an area to take profit if you took the run up at 11:21? Let's 11:09 to 11:12. All right, are you on Eastern Standard Time, Lawson? 11:09 to 11:12, right here. 11:09, absolutely, no doubt about it, no doubt about it. And it also is right underneath. The PLC snapped, by the way. The PLC was up here, but it snapped, but it's underneath my area of interest. Absolutely, it's a guaranteed fact. I'm coming back. Guaranteed fact. That's as close to a guarantee as possible. When you talk about day trading, as close to guarantee as possible. And the reason why I don't trade on the one, we are coming back, and you got to understand. I talked about gaps before. You understand why these happen, and you got to. When you understand why they happen, then you'll be good. You'll be good. Absolutely. All right. So that hopefully that answers your question, Lawson. All right. Good. Yep. Another rejection. Yep. Tippy, you saw it. Yep. And then you saw us hold. I mean, I didn't make it up. See it? And here's what's interesting. I'm glad I didn't delete that. Look at where we hold at, right at that gap area, right there. So it's all there, guys. It's all there. It's all there. There's layers to this. There's elements to learn, but it's all there. And my intention for this year is to unequivocally prove to you that you can be a superior trader without lagging indicators, a superior trader, and show you live. You know, we're going to be doing lives throughout the week for the Killer Wells. Live, where you screen share just like this, and I can explain a couple things. You can see when I'm in my trades and all that cool stuff. But I have other screens that you certainly, those who do sign up a trade with the Wells and other stuff, they can see those. But this was just a quick training. 3 tips for perfect entries and exits in day trading. Let's recap. Scalper's mind. What's your target? Where are you going? Use your levels and areas of interest. How do you plot those? I can train you with that. You can watch my videos. You can take training. Watch the shot clock. Understand that when the candle closes and opens, these are going to give you opportunities for information and direction. You use that to your benefit and you watch. especially if you're scalping. Why? Because I don't scalp on the 1, I scalp on the 3. So I've got plenty time to get a nice move either way. All right. Very nice. All right. And Chip posted the video inside the Discord there. So that's the original video there, 4 areas of interest to answer your question series. All right. Thanks for that, Chip. Thank you for that. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to grab that. I'm going to post it here for folks to see. And anyone who is, oh, I guess they can see it already. Okay. All right, folks. So if there's no further questions, was this helpful for you? Was this training, midday training, helpful for you? Okay, awesome. People are saying yes, indeed. Okay, good, 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 good. So there's a number of things, and then obviously inside the other chat, people are saying yes. Okay, good. Now there are some other tips, tricks, and setups, but that comes in time, and you want to layer. You want to get good at one thing first, understanding VVP. That's number 1. Get good at it. Get good at understanding the foundation and elements. Follow big money. Get good at it. Get good at understanding how to develop these levels, right? Get good at it. Get good at understanding how volume, volatility, price action, all those things work together. Get good at it. Get good at having your targets and knowing where you're going. Get good at it. After that, you can layer scalping. Once you have a number of tools in your tool bag, then yes, you will be able to say with confidence, every single day, I am coming out of the day green. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to use the DAC. All right. I'll see you guys a little bit later. I hope this training has helped. This was 3 tips for perfect entries and exits in day trading. Talk to you later. Bye.